So today I'm going to be showing you my full morning routine with my 9-week-old puppy, John Denver, who's still asleep here in his crate next to my bed. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get him up and get him outside so he can potty and so I don't have any extra messes to clean up this morning. Then once we do that, we can start our day together. So let's go. So I try to get up before Denver so he's not screaming and whining to get out of the crate. Plus it gives me a chance to get dressed before he's ready to like get out and go potty right now. But to be honest, the first few days I was definitely letting him out in my PJs. So my husband and my other two dogs are still asleep at this point. So I try to lay my clothes out the night before and get dressed super quietly and not wake anyone up. And sometimes I succeed and sometimes everyone gets woken up. My main goal is to avoid an accident. So that means that before I attempt to get him out of the crate, I need to be ready to go. And that also means that I'm going to carry him out because at 8 or 9 weeks old, he's not really capable of holding it. So if I put him down on anything, he will start to pee on it. So I get him harnessed in the crate, I leash him in the crate, I carry him all the way to the door to go out to the potty spot. Because he'll hopefully grow up to be a service dog, morning is the absolute best time to practice pottying on different substrates. So that means for me, I'm practicing having him potty on pavement and on fake turf, so turf that I've laid down, to help simulate being in a city or being in an airport and having to catch a connecting flight, that kind of thing. Right in the morning, we know that he's going to go, so I'm going to bring him to those specific spots so that he can go to the bathroom there. And that really, starting that young, starting at 8 or 9 weeks old, doing that is going to set you up for success in the future. And yes, I did buy a roll of fake turf off of Amazon and put it down on my driveway with rocks securing it so that I had a spot to do that. But it was only, I think it was only like 30 bucks or something like that. And to have that peace of mind to know that he'll be able to go on a variety of surfaces is invaluable. To start training him to go to the bathroom on cue, I want to give his cue right as he's about to go. So right as he's about to squat, I'm going to say get busy. And then after he goes, I'm going to praise or reward with food, depending on the situation, so that he knows that going on cue is the best thing ever. You'll also notice that I'm on my driveway, which is in the front yard. So front area is for going to the bathroom quickly, and then we get access to the backyard, the fenced backyard, where he can play and frolic and all of that kind of thing. So it makes it really easy. I relieve him first before he goes to play in the backyard. So it makes the backyard a reinforcer for going to the bathroom quickly in the front area. After morning potty, Denver accompanies me to the bathroom so that I can finish getting ready before we head out for a little bit of a morning walkabout. So once we're ready in the morning, I like to head down the street to my favorite little trail that's very low dog traffic and allow Denver a little tiny puppy hike where he can explore, run around, and also practice his skills in a novel environment. So there's more distractions out here, and so he can learn that, like, oh, even though we're off leash on his long line and getting to kind of do dog stuff, we still do some skills like recall and down and sit and that kind of thing. And after 10 minutes or so, he's burnt some of that energy off and he's ready to do a little bit of training, more formal training anyway. Denver. Boop, 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 boop. Yes, awesome. Good boy. Good boy. Let's go. So next I need to tire out his brain a little bit so that I can go and exercise my adult dogs. And I kind of think of the puppy as like a Sims character who has like a bar, an energy bar above his head. And I need to get the energy bar to go from green to like an orangish color so that he can relax nicely in the crate and, start to develop good crating behavior. Good job. So I start with a little bit of play before I switch to using part of his meal for training. This takes about half an hour or so between the play and the training and some downtime for him to just hang. And I want you to notice that he's wearing a leash in the house in a lot of these videos. Sometimes they call that a drag line or a house line, but this helps avoid conflict and allows me to be able to pick up the leash and redirect him if anything dangerous or destructive is happening. So I use this sacrificial leash and it's gonna get chewed up and gross and I'm going to throw it out after puppyhood. Then it's time for another trip to the potty spot where he usually does number 1 and number 2 again, and the rest of the family will be up now, so it's time to take my other 2 dogs on a walk.
And hey, if you're enjoying this video so far and want to see more videos like this, make sure you head on down and boop that like button to let me know. Next, I grab a topple, which is stuffed with raw meat the day before from Oma's Pride, which is what my dogs eat for raw. And he's now at the point where I can give it to him frozen and he'll work on it until it's almost gone and then fall asleep. So for those of you that are keeping track, he's getting half of his meal during training and the other half in a frozen raw topple that I can give him and give me a chance to walk my dogs and get ready for my day. He's in the crate for about an hour or two, and during that time I do anything that I need to do around the house that's going to be made more inconvenient with a puppy in tow. Crate time away from me is really critical. Even though he's a service dog prospect and will be with me most of the time, there will be times throughout his life where he's going to need to be able to settle alone, and it's important that I build that right into his day. So when I make sure that he has crate time every single morning, he learns to relax and settle without me nearby. Once my other dogs have been walked, I've had breakfast, and I'm ready for my day. I'm now taking him back out of the crate and immediately back outside to go to the bathroom. Once he's gone to the bathroom in one of his potty spots, then we head to the backyard to be able to run around and blow off a little steam before I need to get to work. Once he's had a chance to get some of his sillies out in the yard, it's time to head down to the basement where my training area is so that I can get some work done. Because he's still really little, I don't let him do sets of stairs like that, so I pick him up and carry him up and down the stairs. Once we hit the basement, I typically do a 2 to 5 minute training session to make his brain a little bit tired, and then the rest of the time he is hanging out, chewing on something, playing with himself, or eventually he might fall asleep like he did here. This room is totally puppy proof, so I don't have to worry about him getting into anything, because good management and puppy proofing a space is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself and your puppy. I want my puppy's puppyhood to be full of yeses and good boys and really building his confidence and security in the world. And when I manage his environment, I set him up for success because there's more opportunities for him to make good choices. And allowing him some free time in this puppy-proofed area has done wonders for his ability to settle outside of the crate. Because once he's had a bit of time to play, he typically climbs up on the climb and falls asleep like this, which is the outcome that I'm looking for. If he's struggling to settle, I might also do some tethering. So tethering is basically a leash that's made out of metal wrapped in plastic so they can't chew through it, and I can attach it to something nearby. And when I do that, I give him a chew, something to chew on, and he just sits on his mat and is leashed essentially to the desk and chews on that chew until he falls asleep. Tethering is incredibly important, and a lot of it just comes down to getting the puppy tired, putting them on the tether, giving them something to do for a few minutes, and waiting for them to fall asleep. And I want to start patterning that behavior really young, so it's just part of his everyday life. By this time, it's about noon, so that means it's time for another potty break, a little bit more play in the yard, and then he typically comes in the kitchen with me, which is gated off, and he watches me make lunch. He's already doing really great at choosing to go lay on his mat while I'm cooking or prepping food, which I absolutely love. And that pretty much concludes our morning. So if you liked this video and want to see more, make sure you check out this video here because the algorithm says that you're going to love it. So you all have an awesome day and happy training.